And that is exactly what's happening today. So 888-957-9570 is the number. Twitch and YouTube audience, if that's how you take the show in, today is a little bit different.
Yeah.
You're going to want to take a look at what we've got going on for you here live at the Lions Club in Linden. And thank you so much for the hospitality. Very well received out here. And today's a different day. Today is Judgment Day.
It's Judgment Day, and I look forward to your voiceover as we continue to build the drama for the first day of free agency. And we don't expect everything to go down today. This is not like the NFL where the legal tampering period ends and immediately, seconds later, it's just boom, boom, bam, 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 one after the other. Baseball kind of does it in reverse where free agency's already begun. And what's the biggest free agency signing we've seen so far?
Well,
has there been one?
I haven't seen any. No, I haven't seen any. I do know there will be breaking news today for the San Francisco Giants at some point. There is one deadline, and that is whether or not they're going to pick up the option on Evan Longoria. So stuff like that will get started. You are seeing some trades and some rumors, certainly. They're at the GM meeting, so the reporters are there, and there will be all kinds of information. But yes, Aaron Judge is not signing anywhere today. That's why we're here. If he was already signing, there would be no point of us being here.
True.
We are here to set the table for the Aaron Judge signing. We are here to let Aaron Judge know this is the opposite of being booed in the outfield.
This is being wooed.
This is being wooed. Thank you. They're not saying boo. They're saying woo.
Yes.
That's how it will be done in San Francisco if and when he can make that decision to come home.
In New York, you're mocked. In the Bay Area, you are stalked. And Kyle Madsen will be a 1. I'm coming off a 4 for my boo-woo. Kyle Madsen might be knocking on the Judge's family door. He won't be, because somebody yesterday, Mark, made a great point. What if you two jackholes are the reason that he doesn't come to the Giants?
What if we scare him off? Do you think that's possible, Bob? You think? I mean, I know everybody here. You all know Aaron Judge like the back of your own hand. Are we terrifying right now? Yes or no? No, we're getting to no. I think we're okay.
And
we're
that
inbound.
comes from 1% of the Linden population. I mean, literally.
Until we leave. That's like 1.5%. It'll go up. Yeah, but anyway, it is a different kind of day. And as we welcome you in or continue to welcome you in, as Bonte and Joe did, with how you would pitch Aaron Judge if you're the Giants, I thought Bonte sort of asked it in a really, really good way when he kept saying, I keep going back to why the Giants. Because if you're Aaron Judge and you are going to leave New York, I do think it's the Giants, but why would you leave New York? If you are a baseball player, you're the largest man on the planet, you're wearing Yankee pinstripes, 62 home runs, like it's the center of the baseball universe, why would you leave? And I'll tell you why you leave.
Please.
Here's why.
Please tell me.
Here's why.
Because you missed the ground fog and the 40-degree temps?
Exactly right. No, I
the hustle and bustle of Highway 26?
There are so many people who have put out there, oh, Aaron, you'll be a star. We won't boo you. We'll have gavel night. And I kept listening to all that, and I'm like, it sounds great. And obviously at the core of all this is going to be, what does Aaron want to do? He is in control here. The Yankees are not in control. The Giants are not in control. Aaron Judge is the one in control. So you have to ask yourself, what can the Giants offer that the Yankees can't? And some of you will say, well, there is nothing. And I beg to differ, and here's why. In my mind, this is true for all human beings. There is absolutely nothing that can match living out your childhood dreams. There is nothing that can match that for a human being. Forget money. The Giants will have the biggest check, but Aaron doesn't need to worry about money. Come back here and buy Linden right after he signs this deal if he wants. It will be if he brings that check.
Okay.
So money's not going to be an issue. Fame is not going to be an issue.
He's already got both.
Getting cheered is not going to be an issue. Hitting the ball over the left field fence is not going to be an issue. Take it from me, somebody who, like you, Dibbs, has now been in the business for almost 30 years, 25, 30
you ain't
years.
Kidding, kid.
But for about 22 of those 25 years, while I grew up as somebody who watched Giants baseball and was in love with Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell, but I never had that outside of your normal 5-year-old thought, like I'm going to play for the Giants someday, I very quickly got to the spot where I'm like, I don't want to play left field for the San Francisco Giants. I want to be a part of the soundtrack of those players' lives. I want to help communicate who they are and what they are to the entertained fan base of these teams that I love. And so almost 4 years ago, when I had the opportunity to come back to the Bay Area, it is what I had been working toward my entire life, to get the opportunity to be part of the soundtrack of the Bay Area, just one little part of it, and talk about the Giants and the 49ers and the Golden State Warriors. I could not pass that opportunity up because it is living out a childhood dream. So, Aaron, take it from me. There is no money. There is no fame. There is nothing that can match living out your childhood dream. And so if you sat around as a boy and watched Barry Bonds hit the ball into the water and looked at Rich Aurelia in the right-handed batter's box hitting 35 home runs a year and decided that that was your guy, and then you became an adult and your respect for Buster Posey ended up putting his jersey on your wall behind your right shoulder, if that is what is at the core of you as a human being, then come live out your childhood dream.
And you're assuming that this is his childhood dream. I know he was a fan of the Giants. Maybe his childhood dream was to make $400 million and play for the Cleveland Guardians. I mean,
maybe it was
deep down.
Well, and so
maybe
if that's the case, then my pitch
and
miss. Yeah, he'd be like, no, that's really not it.
Maybe he wanted to be a jockey riding in the Kentucky Derby, and he realized early on, I might be too tall to eventually be a jockey at Golden Gate Fields. But I think that's a big pull, but I also do believe that the allure of home, and I'm not saying that he would live here in Linden, although it's lovely this time of year, it's a bit of a commute to 3rd and King. You'd have to, leave pretty early to get there in time for batting practice.
But not bad. I mean, look, we're here.
No, not terrible.
We're here. We're here by 9 a.m.
It's a one-off. I got here about 8.
I'll be back to walk Penny by 2:30. It's fine.
Yeah.
I
was over at Orlando's Market at about 8 o'clock. Got myself a breakfast burrito.
How was it?
Fantastic.
I bet. I'm not
great
surprised.
people over there, and you had some of the high school kids coming in for a little breakfast as well. A lot of hustle and bustle. Some of the locals coming in and getting some food, and folks around here super friendly, nice group of people. But if you're Aaron Judge, I think the allure of home, being close to home, close to where your family, your spouse's family, and a community in which you grew up, that to me is as powerful as the idea of living out a childhood dream. Because we all have many, many childhood dreams, and there is a certain point in your life where you start to slough them off. Like you said, I grew up wanting to be basically Howard Cosell, Monday Night Football broadcaster, and be, do the biggest fights and do the World Series and all the rest of it. And you realize at a certain point, well, only 1 or 2 people in their lifetime get that gig. So you go ahead and scale back what you hope for, what you dream about. Now, if you're Aaron Judge, you don't necessarily have to do that because you are the biggest and best power hitter in baseball. And right now, you control your own destiny. You write your ticket. So if it is as simple as live out your childhood dream, and this is his childhood dream, then it's a done deal. If it's, I want to be close to my family, and this is the team, well, Oakland technically closer, by the way, let's be fair.
No question.
Oakland is closer, but, if you want to combine the two.
Didn't see any Carney Lansford jerseys on as well.
Early.
I'm just saying, didn't see that.
Early.
Yep.
You got, childhood dream, proximity to family, and the ability to not be jeered like you were, because I'm sorry, Mark, deep down, if I'm Aaron Judge and I'm coming off a 62-year regular season and I struggle in the playoffs and I'm hearing boos from the fans, I'm thinking middle finger to the crowd, personally.
You know what? It's funny because I do think at big-time athlete levels, right, this person's about to make, give or take, $300 million, probably more. And I think
you get a lot of beers at the Lions Club for that.
You can, right? That was a big nod over there. So
actually, 900 million beers because they're $3 a piece.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Well, that's a really good price.
He can almost get 1 billion beers here at the Lions Club in Linden.
Which is
Anyway.
what? Enough for you or no?
I might be.
Yeah.
I'd let you drive me home.
Hang in there, big guy.
That'd be
right into his head. Yeah. So,
What'd you have? 900 million beers?
If you've got that kind of money, I think most sports fans are going to look at someone and go, "Really, dude? Are you worried about booze?" Like, do you want to know what you want to know what you could say to me for $350 million? You could say anything to me. You could kick me in any part of my body you want. Whatever. For $350 million, why am I going to worry about booze? Here's what I think might be a bigger part for Aaron Judge. And again, I don't know Aaron. I don't know Jordan Poole, and I don't know Aaron Judge.
You don't know Aaron Judge?
I don't, and I don't know the Judge family. But here's one thing I would wonder: if he were sitting in front of me right now, the conversation we just had on the changeover. What does his family think about this? What does his wife think about this? He's 30 years old. That is right at a time where most of us, when you're married, are starting to think about or already starting to raise a family. And I wonder if the Judge family and he and his wife are sitting there
clan, Judge
right.
Clan, because we're out here in the country.
I wonder if he's not at a spot where a part of this isn't just where do I want to play baseball, how much are you going to offer me, is someone being a jerk in the stands. Remember, it's not just you on the field, it's your family that's in the stands. And where do you want to bring them up? We got an interesting world right now, and they've got a very interesting decision. Not to say that if he were to come to the Giants, he's going to live in Linden, but think about it. If I were still a 30-year-old man, I would absolutely be thinking about, all right, what are the surroundings going to be for my children? What are they going to see when they come watch me work? How close to Papa and G-Ma are they going to be?
Exactly.
I don't know if that's what makes him tick. But it sounds to me like it might be a bigger deal to him than it is for a lot of athletes.
Especially at this point in his life, as you mentioned. What did you do last weekend? You spent time with your parents.
Exactly.
Your 80-year-old dad.
Papa turned 80.
Yeah, Tom and Ellen. And, they're not going to be around forever. And you're lucky that you have this much time to spend with them. So if you're Aaron Judge, and I don't know the relative age and health of his parents, but like you said, you get into your 30s and you start shifting from, the Big Apple, New York, Manhattan, lifetime, party time. And now you're thinking about, like you said, family and spending time with your parents and all the rest of it. Neither of my parents is here anymore, and I wish that I had more time, and I wish that I would have spent more time, even though we lived only, between Linden and San Francisco away from each other for the last handful of years of their life. I didn't make the effort, and now I can't make the effort.
Right.
So those things start to weigh on you as you get older.
No doubt. And again, we do this with so many free agents. We have no way of knowing what's going to make them tick. Remember when Garrett Cole, right before he became a member of the New York Yankees, Garrett Cole, there was so much talk about family, right? Brandon Crawford's a brother-in-law, and he's going to want to do this and want to do that. And he's like, no, I'd like to be a Yankee, and I'd like the biggest check. I mean, let's not forget that aspect of it.
Yeah.
The Giants cannot come to this party and say, hey, we're close to Linden, and we're much more milk and cookies than the Yankees. Here's the
take a hometown discount.
Here's the core of the pitch. The core of the pitch is whatever the hell anybody offers you plus $10 million at least, maybe plus $20 million, maybe plus $50 million. Like, honestly, they've already said it out loud. We are not going to be outbid.
Or underbid.
And so, or overbid or underbid. They messed that quote up, and it doesn't matter. It wasn't directly their quote. But they're not. They're not going to be beat when it comes to money, and that's at the core of any pitch because it usually works.
Yes. And so if money is equal and if they want to go back and forth, tit for tat, Yankees, Giants back and forth, then it comes down to the things you're talking about because there is something to be the big star in the Big Apple. And right now, he is that. Apologies to Kevin Durant, who plays for a lesser team. Nobody cares about the Brooklyn Nets in that city, in the 5 boroughs. It comes down to the Knicks. The Yankees are number one. Then you could say maybe the New York Giants. After that, it goes down the ladder from there. So if the Yankees are the number one team and you're the number one star on the number one team in the number one market coming off a record-setting year, there's nothing the Giants can do to match that in terms of wow factor. So if he's looking for that wow factor, even beyond money, well, then the Giants have no chance, and he's staying as a New York Yankee.
Yeah,
Wow, dude.
I mean, I'll still say it, and I firmly believe this. We're sitting here live in Linden right now. There is plenty of optimism, but if you ask me what is more likely, Yankees or Giants, it still remains Yankees. That is a fact. I think that it's
even after this appearance live in Linden?
No, not after this, because we're still in the middle of it. We're going to have to We're going to have to roll the ball in the hole here. We'll see. Ask me again at about 1:30, and I may change my tune. But right now, as I sit here today, yeah, they're still the favorite. And I do think anytime you're making a life decision, it's almost like how we just had election day. What happens to people who are sitting there going, gosh, I really don't know who to vote for. Should it be this or should it be that? What do people usually end up doing? There is a very strong word when it comes to elections: incumbent, because we've just lived it. You know it. It's sort of risk-free. You feel like, this has been working enough, so let's not make any changes. And the Yankees have that. They are the incumbent here. They're also the freaking Yankees, right? This is not the Marlins that we're talking about.
I wish it was.
Right. I mean,
it'd be a lot cooler if it was.
Yeah, because Stanton was like, peace out,
totally.
and ended up on the Yankees. So it's where a lot of people want to go. He's already there. It's worked for him. He's had a wonderful career. He's got John Sterling as the soundtrack of his career. I personally think Kruk and Kipe would be better, but we don't know.
What did I do wrong?
You.
So many things. But anyway, point being is I still think that they are the favorite. But the Giants have a real shot here. And what I like about what they're doing is I think, and this is really all you can ask of them, I think they've positioned themselves in every possible way that they can. I think that the due diligence has been done. I think the financial offer will be there. I think Buster Posey is on the ownership group and will be in the pitch meeting. I think they've set the table in every possible way they can. Now it's, does he want to sit down and eat?
Well, and now it's also, can they close? Because they've set this very table many times before, and they've been left as the only person in the restaurant. No one else has joined them at this table.
Never been the high bidder, though. They've never been the high bidder.
No, but they've been at the table before. They may be the high bidder and still lose out in this case. They may not be the high bidder again. The point is they've been to the table before. So how are you going to go about getting it done this time? And this time it feels like it's more important, it's more titanic than ever before, not only because he's a local kid and he's a home run hitting record breaker in the American League, and you'll sign him for 8 years, he'll be the face of the franchise and all the rest of it, but also you're coming off the worst sort of year you could have possibly had. You were mediocre and you were boring. 81-81. Fans are not paying attention to your product. They're not showing up for your product. And you don't have anybody really even resembling a household name. And here's a guy who is a household name, and he puts butts in seats. And even if you go 81-81 next year, but you have Aaron Judge, you're going to be far more exciting than this year's Giants were.
No doubt. But I think that I'm sure he's got much bigger goals than that. I think the team does too. This is not going to be a one free agent off season. I'm very, very confident in that. And in fact, we can get into that. Sports Illustrated put together the top 50 free agents of the offseason, predicted 3 to go to the San Francisco Giants. We'll tell you which 3 they predicted to go to the Giants. Plus, Hunter Pence is going to be on in an hour. Plus, we want to take your phone calls at 888-957-9570. We are live in Linden, California. We are not messing around. We are at the Lions Club. Thank you very much for having us, and we are here to get Aaron Judge. And this is the question for you. Is it Judge or bust?